Alright guys, we have a little unboxing to do today. Since I can't go fishing because you know what, the big outbreak that's going on, it closed all of our lakes down, and it's perfect time to be out here throwing big baits and catching giant pre-spawn fish. Fortunately can't do that, so I decided to order something so I could at least have something to play with, while I'm waiting for these times. And this might make it worse because now I might be really upset, but at least maybe I'll have a new toy to play with. Alright, we're going to open this bad boy up. Oh yeah, so this here is a bait that I've seen for a while. I've seen kind of some people using it, seen it kind of floating around, and wanted to get my hands on one, and boy, it's a lot bigger than it looks on a video, that's for sure. But this right here is, I should have another thing in here too. Oh yeah, here's my first thing. We'll get into that in a second, but first off, we'll start with the small, we're gonna start with the small thing first. That was a really weird thing right there I just did, but I got some Owner Hyperwire split rings. Now, when I'm fishing big baits, and obviously that's what this is, you probably see with the title, you know what this is, but when I'm fishing big baits, I do not skip out on getting good hardware for my big baits. Now, I'm not a guy on you buy a little crankbait and switch out all my hooks on a crankbait. I'll do that if I feel them and they're really weak, or if they get rusty or something, but I don't usually take a bait right out of the package and switch the hooks. However, on a big swim bait, I will. Big baits, I like to make sure I have the highest quality I can get, the strongest stuff on there, because you're trying to catch a giant fish. A normal crankbait, I'm throwing it thinking, oh, I could catch a big fish, but most likely I'm catching, anything from under a pound to, 3 or 4, maybe 5 pounder if I'm lucky. Versus a bait like this, you're targeting fish that are, 6, 7, 8 plus pound, so they're giant fish. So I want to make sure I have the best equipment. So there's just some heavy duty split rings there by Owner. I got some hooks as well, that I already had. I just needed to stock up. But open this thing up. So this is a sweet looking bait right here. This is awesome. This is a Bait Sanity Explorer glide bait. Now, if you've been watching my channel, I've been getting into swim baits lately. Around this time last year, I got my first couple swim baits, some little river to sea swim baits, the S-Wavers, and so I wanted to kind of step it up. My most expensive glide bait's the S-Waver 200, which is around $50, and I was thinking about getting another one of those, but I thought, let's go bigger. Let's get something a little bigger, something maybe a little better quality. And so I saw this guy here, and I've seen this a lot floating around, YouTube and stuff. And I've heard that these are really sweet baits, and they're not expensive, honestly. For a glide bait this big, these are cheap. They're let me look here on this thing. This bait was $70, looks like. Yeah, about $70 for this one bait. And if you're, regular fisherman, you may think $70 for a lure. But when you're talking about, swim baits and big baits like these, they get expensive. So this is actually a pretty good price here. So the Bait Sanity Explorer Glide, they do make a smaller one like the Antidote, but this is the big version. And this thing is, I believe it's 9.5 inches long and 5 ounces. It probably says on the back here. A beautiful color. Now this color here is not my number one choice. If I had if I could choose, I would have picked the rainbow trout color just because that's what the fish around here eat. That's what we get rainbow trout stocked everywhere around here. But since since they're out of stock, most big swim baits are very hard to find in rainbow trout, and they're out of stock. I got this color here, which is kokanee. And that is a sweet bait right there. Sorry if you can hear my dog barking in the background. And honestly, first glance at these hooks and at these split rings, they look pretty good. And I have to read the package because who knows, these could be the same split rings I just bought. But it's always good to have extra anyway. But that is a sweet bait. So that is the kokanee color right there. And around here, a majority, I mean 90% of our lakes get stocked with trout a couple times a year, so there's usually a good abundance of trout. And then a few of our bigger reservoirs are stocked with kokanee. And so I got that kokanee. And also it's just a very fishy color. If you look at it, like that could look like a shad. It could look like a rainbow trout. It's kind of like purpley, got some like purpley, you know, shine in there. Silver. It's kind of a really good bait fish color. So it just looks really good. You know, looks like a little bait fish. The other colors they have like a carp color, like a bone white color. So I thought this would be, besides rainbow trout, the next fishiest color. And this is a super sweet bait right there. I'll get maybe some B-roll. But that is a sweet, sweet bait, and it comes with a replacement tail. So the tail on here, let's see if I can figure out how to get this replacement tail out. I don't know, I'll worry about that later. There's a replacement tail down in there. I don't know if it's the same one or if it's different, because they do make different tails. The tail is soft, it's a hard body, but the tail on here and these two fins right here are soft. They're soft rubber, and you can replace them. I'm pretty sure you can replace these fins, and I know for a fact you can replace that tail. And they make a couple different styles of tail. They make a stiffer one, this one here, which I think is a more flexible one, and then they make like a boot tail style. So when you're gliding it, this is a glide bait, so when you're gliding it, that boot has a boot tail that kicks. So they make a few different styles of tail you can replace on there. So it does come with an extra one in here. I'll have to look at it and see if it's the same style or if it's the stiffer one. But just a sweet, sweet looking glide bait right there. I can't wait to throw this. Like I said, I can't fish right now. All of our lakes are closed down. But when they open back up, that is going to be a sweet bait to go throw around right there. For bass and for muskie, I haven't been muskie fishing in a few years. And I don't know, I probably not able to go this year. But you know, definitely would be cool to take this out and try it for muskie a little bit. But that is a sweet, sweet bait right there. That's awesome. So anyway, this is the bait. Let me read see if there's any specs on here. So yeah, it's 9.5 inches. Here we go, that's what it says. 9.5 inches long, and it is 5 ounces. So perfect throw on my swim bait rod that I have. My swim bait rod is like 3 to 10 ounces, so it's, you know, more in that lower to mid range on my swim bait rod. So it's going to throw it really nicely, and I can't wait till I can fish this and see what kind of glide I can get out of it. See what I can do with this puppy. But that is a sweet, sweet looking bait right there by Bait Sanity. Awesome, awesome bait. I'm so stoked on this. This is sick. Alright guys, so hope you enjoyed this unboxing. This is a cool bait right here, like I said a million times. But got those split rings on there I can upgrade. But that is a sweet looking bait right there. Sweet bait right out of the package. It's going to be a fun one to go through around. So thanks for watching. Hope we enjoyed this little unboxing. And I'll see you guys, or I won't be able to see you, but I guess you'll see me in the next video. So thanks for watching, guys.